Welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy and this is a channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. So what do we got going on today? Well, we're going to do number 2 of our pumpkin Plaooza. And what today is going to be a pumpkin weeded bourbon. This should be a smooth, earthy bourbon with some of those pumpkin spices in there. It's all be pretty good, I think. So, hey, let's get started. But first things first, like always, there's 5 things that you can do to really help us out. Number 1, if you haven't had a chance yet, please hit that subscribe button down there. Hit that notification bell. Share us with your friends. If you like what you see, give us that thumbs up. And of course, leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, we're getting ready to get started here. I got my mash tun, and I'm going to use, I've been doing a little bit different. I've been using my bazooka screen in the bottom. And I've also been putting a false bottom in. Corn can be a very, get it in there. There we go. Corn can be a little bit challenging, but not too bad. Then I'm going to put a brew in the bag in. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pump over probably 3.5 to 4 gallons of water. The water is boiling. Then I'm going to start adding my corn in. Ooh, a little warm today. I'll be glad when fall gets here. Alright, so I'm going to just start adding a little bit of corn in at a time. What we want to do is gelatinize this corn or hydronize it, whichever you like to call it. We want to get we're trying to get the starches out of the corn. there's half the corn. Make sure it's all good and stirred up, no dough balls, any of that good stuff. Looks pretty good. It's going to get like oatmeal. It will get pretty thick. Alright, so let's get our bag of corn in. So that's a total of 10 pounds of corn. It's whole grain corn. And I hate to say it, but the price of corn went up. You get this mixed in, then we'll be back, okay? Okay, so we got all our corn in. I just want to check my temperature. And we are about 180. That'll work. Alright, so what I'm going to do is put the lid on this. Put the lid on this, and then we're going to give it an hour and a half. And if it stretches out to 2 hours, no big deal. So at least an hour and a half to hydronize that corn and get them starches released out. And that's what we need. Okay? So, we'll see you after a while. Okay, we're just only a half hour into it. I'm going to just give it a double check. You can just see is one big glob mess. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some high temperature enzyme to help break this stuff down. And according to directions, it's supposed to be supposed to be 1 milliliter to 1 milliliter to 1 pound of grain. Okay, so we're going to mix some of this in, and that'll help break down this corn. It'll help it a little bit more manageable. All right, so I'm going to mix this in. And I did check my temperature. It was below, 190. Okay. I mean, here in just a few seconds, it's actually thinning up. But okay, I'll put the lid back on it, and we'll give it some more time. Okay, so it's been an hour and a half. And I did cool this down just a little bit, down to 160. And so now it's time to add in our other grains. Okay, so I got 5 pounds of wheat next. 5 pounds of wheat. Get that stirred in. Okay, so we got that, and I also got 4 pounds of 2-row barley. This is all malted. So what I'll probably have to end up doing, because it's pretty thick here, I'm going to add me a little bit of hot water in, because I know my temperatures went down a little bit. is all mixed up, and then what we'll do is we'll double check our temperature. Let's see what kind of temperature we got now. 144, 145, 147. Okay, so we're at 145, 146. Everything's mixed up. So what we're going to what happened now is we're going to let them enzymes from the other grains we just put in start converting all them starches over into sugars. Okay, so let's put the top on this. We'll set the timer for an hour and a half, and then we'll be ready for the next step. Okay? Okay, so it's been an hour and a half. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sparge in our fermentation buckets. And I think what I'm going to do with this one, because I just have a funny feeling it's going, the fermentation might get a little bit violent. I'm going to put it in 2 fermenters and put the volume down a little bit. I'm thinking that. Okay, well let's get this, get in the buckets. And while that's pouring in, I got two cans of pumpkin. This is just like in the pumpkin ale. It's the all natural Libby's. Get it all mixed up in there. There's one can. Got a pretty color to it. Okay. Alright, let's get this sparged over, then I'll be back. Hey, I finished sparging. Oh, it's heavy. I'm going to just pour these buckets back and forth a little bit. I did collect 8 total gallons. Because I do know that you get a lot of sediment with the pumpkin, and I want to make sure I get. And this is getting a lot of nice aeration. So I'm going to divide this up into 4 gallons each. Okay. I'll check my pH real quick. Wouldn't help if I turned it on though. There we go. And we are looking at, I mean, it's 5.6. I'm going to just leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. Temperature wise, it's probably still a little bit too warm to put our yeast in. Yeah, it's 136. Okay, so I checked my final gravity. It's 1.085. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, and that's actually 8 gallons worth. But I do know that I'm going to have a lot of sediment, and that's why I collect a little bit more than the typically 6 gallons what I normally collect. But with the pumpkin, you do get a lot of sediment, so you'll lose, you'll lose some of that volume. So I think once I'll end up with maybe just a hair over 6 gallons of good mash to put in the still. Okay, this has been a fun project. This is the number 2 in our pumpkin Plaooza. I'm looking forward to this, and now what I'm going to do is, once I distill this out and I'm going to mix all my cuts together and have it in my cut jars, I'm going to mix the cinnamon and the pumpkin pie spices right into the mixing jar. When I got it on yoke, and I'll just taste every day a little bit, and when it gets to the flavor that I like, then I'll pull all that out. I'll strain it out. So maybe I'll put. This is a new way for me to do it. I'm gonna kind of treat it like a spiced rum, kind of, sort of. I don't want to leave the cinnamon in there too long because it can get overbearing if you leave it in there too long. So probably what I'll end up doing, put it on oak. Yeah, I want it kind of light oaked. So I'll probably put it on oak for 3 or 4 days, and then I'll put the spices in. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll let you know. But I think it's going to be fantastic. Hey, last thing I got to say, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time here on Stillworks and Brewing. Cheers, everybody.